Let's bring in Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack, a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Congresswoman, as I understand it, it's always been kind of a wink, wink, Taiwan will take care of you, but we recognize one China, which would mean Taiwan is part of China. Mm-hmm. It looks more and more like China has its eyes on Taiwan and wants to assert itself there. What do you think we should be doing about that?
You know, there has been for a long time a longstanding policy, strategic ambiguity, I think is how people have phrased it. But when you look at Taiwan and really the history from when Chiang Kai-shek fled mainland China after the communists took over, the Constitution went to Taiwan, Taiwan was established. And for today's generation, they recognize Taiwan to be an independent and sovereign nation. I myself have spoken with President Tsai, and I think that the great concern is that should China take adverse military action against Taiwan and Taiwan should fall, well, that just unleashes China to be the aggressor that we know that they want to be and basically trampling all over the world. They seem to be hell-bent on claiming their rights to Taiwan. Myself personally, I believe that Taiwan is an independent and sovereign nation and that China needs to back off. Because for as long as I have been around, and that's been since 1988 for anybody who's wondering, I think that Taiwan's role and contribution to the global community has been incredible. They are a different culture, a different people than mainland China. And even though there is still controversy about the 92 consensus, I believe that this Congress will stand by Taiwan in the event of a potential conflict. But we want to exhaust all options to make sure that we never get to that point, which is exactly why operations and continuing to engage in phone ops, freedom of navigation operations through those areas in that part of the world are important. Mm-hmm. We want peace, and we want peace through strength. And when we have a partner like Taiwan who is been a good partner to the United States, we want to stand by them. So I think it's a little bit strange that the White House, again, has continued to put out these statements and then walk them back and then put them out again and then walk them back. Of course, we saw that with Afghanistan. I think when it comes to solidifying the United States position, when it comes to how we feel about Taiwan and our relationship, I think the world would be best to take their cues from Congress rather than this White House, because clearly, be it Afghanistan, the southern border, the fact that they have no idea what's going on in their own country, things are a little bit shaky when it comes to any sort of message coming out of the White House.
Yeah, I mean, a message coming out of the White House that we were surprised by China firing this hypersonic missile, but yet we do nothing about that. And then you were talking about, in terms of that area of the world, South Korea, Japan, how do they know that they can count on us given what they saw transpire and happen in Afghanistan?
Exactly. I mean, that and our adversaries, China, Russia, Iran, everybody was watching very carefully the debacle that was unfolding, the lack of leadership, the weakness of the Biden administration. They were watching and gleefully saying, this is our time to strike. This is when we can make the move that we need to. China is extremely dangerous. China has been engaging in predatory landing practices all around the globe. They are marching around the globe looking to assert their authority because they believe that they are destined to be the world's global superpower by any means necessary. And they work to undermine the United States and anyone who stands in their way at any moment that they can. Taiwan is just standing in the way as far as they're concerned because they believe that Taiwan is part of mainland China. Yeah, and they work every day through interference of elections and stealing intellectual property rights. And you name it, they're doing it to undermine Taiwan. But no mistake about it, they're an independent sovereign nation.
And they want their technology. They want a lot of the Western elements of what makes Taiwan, Taiwan. We've got like 30 seconds. Are we behind the eight ball when it comes to military technology now?
Absolutely. Under the Trump administration, there were significant gains that were made in terms of investments in military hardware, investments in military readiness. We had for a long time under the Obama administration suffering all the cannibalization of our military assets and technology. We were on the right track. The Biden administration has derailed those efforts. We're seeing not a lot of investment into our military and our service members. We've got to get back on track. That's why these midterms coming up are so important. We can compete. We just need to have an administration that has our militaries back.
All right. Congresswoman Kamik, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.